Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World of Weird with your two favorite weirdos, Dal and the Mayor.
Welcome to the world of weird.
Hey guys.
Well, we're gonna be talking about ghosts, spirits, and things that go bump in the night. How many out there believe that there's such things as ghosts? I hope it's everybody.
I do.
I personally do. I've seen too many strange things, and I'm not just talking about downtown Manchester to not believe in ghosts. I've had way too many experience with paranormal. I used to be in a paranormal society, and I'm even wearing a shirt from my old crew, the New England Paranormal Society. We even had our own television show for a while, and I know Dell's had instances also. You want to talk about any of those?
Oh yeah. I'll let you go first, Mayor.
I started really getting into it when I worked in a bar and restaurant in Milwaukee as a chef, and I was also the maintenance guy. And I was upstairs in the dining room vacuuming the floor, and there are a lot of mirrors in the place. And I caught out of the corner of my eye, out of one of the mirrors, somebody coming down the stairs from the apartment on the second floor and go into the kitchen. And I thought it was my boss, because he comes down about that time to get a cup of coffee. I have the coffee all ready as soon as I get there, and I thought it was him, but nobody came out of the kitchen. Walked in the kitchen, nobody was there. What the heck? Then there was another instance. I was down in the basement where the bar was. This used to be a speakeasy during Prohibition, in fact. I'm sitting there cleaning, and there's a lot of mirrors and all that, and I saw somebody come down the stairs and go in the back room, and I thought, hey, liquor salesman's here to check inventory to see what we needed to be stocked up on. And so I didn't think anything of it. Never saw anybody come out of the back room and go back up the stairs, all that, and went in there, there's nobody there. Didn't hear anybody. It's strange. And one day, my boss's dad was there, who knew the previous owner, the guy who actually built it. It's neat. It looked like just a house, but it was actually a Prohibition speakeasy. Then we turned it into a restaurant. And I asked his dad, he goes, hey, do you remember the owner that lived this place? If I described somebody, can you tell me if this sounds like him? And I described him, a very tall, skinny man, gray suit, black bow tie. He had an oval-shaped head, bald, and just described it what I could remember. And he goes, yeah, that's Charlie Pence. That's the guy who built this place. I go, I've seen him a few times. And Dean says, I've had quite a few people describe the same person. He had never seen him, but twice in there, I saw Charlie. And he died in probably the 70s. It was really strange. And so I started getting a little more into the ghost hunting, and then moving here to New Hampshire with my first wife and all that. And she was into it. So we were doing a little bit of ghost hunting and at least studying on it. It always fascinated me. And then later on, after first wife died, I'd smell gardenias, white gardenias, now and then. She always wore a perfume called Jessica McClintock, which was a white gardenia perfume. And you could smell it through the house. So I know she was always coming checking in. And then after Sassy died, times there I smelled the white gardenia, and other times I could smell Sassy's Tommy Choo, which was her favorite perfume. I smelled both of those now, so I always thought they were coming back and checking on.
Yeah.
Sassy and I did a lot of paranormal investigation with this crew and also on our own. We've gone ghost hunting in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Well, wherever Gettysburg is. We got a lot of neat evidence from there. One of our digital recorders, in fact, we picked up gunfire, cannon fire, voices. Couldn't hear them when we're out in the middle of the field.
Right.
Could hear them on the digital recordings. Heard screaming. We did an investigation with our old crew out on the Cape in Massachusetts at a Air National Guard hangar that was used during the Gulf War that was used as a morgue for fallen soldiers that are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
We got some really weird stuff. We got video evidence, shadows that shouldn't be there. We got sound, all kinds of weird electromagnetic interference, come and go, cold spots, just some of the just wild information. There's a library in the town just north of here called Hooksett that's been around. It's 100 some years old. They actually asked us to come in to investigate, and we got shadows, sound. There was about 5 of us that were standing in one area, and we kept on watching the shadow peeking around a corner of the bookshelf, looking at us and ducking back and looking at it and ducking back. And it was in the children's section. And we come to find out later, after we had gone through the information, or gone through all our evidence, which we got some of it on tape, you could actually see in the video on that, the shadow coming in and going. We kind of thought in there it was shadow matrixy, but it wasn't. And we found out later on from a librarian who had worked there for 30-some years, it was in the same area where a kid had some kind of seizure and ended up having a cerebral hemorrhage and dying, and we think it might have been that kid that we were seeing.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff have you come across?
So, as some people know, and those who don't, I done about 20 years in healthcare, and I've done from big ERs to burn center to small town ER to clinic, med surge kind of stuff, and then obviously EMS. Well, back in, I want to say 06, 07, somewhere in there, I started working at this really small hospital just the next town over. The building has been there since probably like 1950, 1960. And so it only had 2 floors. Downstairs is like the ER and the clinic and lab. Upstairs was just for med surge. So I think there was technically 16 rooms, but really we only ever used about 10 of those because one ended up getting turned into the like the on-call providers room, and then another one got turned in, or a couple others was for our respite patients, which they lived there. Instead of going to a nursing home, they just paid to stay at the hospital instead, which they were great. Anyway, I worked night shift, and I had never really thought much about ghosts. And I mean, I always, believe in afterlife, heaven, hell, everything like that. Well, I never thought about the paranormal side of some things until I started working there. And it would be middle of the night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We had our nurses station, and right outside of our nurses station, kind of across this little hall, was the med room, and then next to that was another like patient's room. Well, we would always slide that TV out of that room, put on the news, the weather, whatever, and then at middle of the night we would just put on whatever show was on and just watch whatever. Well, I would be sitting in my chair, sitting out there watching a little bit of TV because everybody's asleep, and out of the corner of my eye I could see something moving. Then I would look, and I'm like, I don't see it when I look straight on. I don't see what it is. Well, I started thinking, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I just need more sleep. Maybe it's nothing. So one night it kept happening, and it was way at the other end of the hall. And I literally was asking one of the nurses I was working with, I was like, hey, am I going crazy? But do you ever see something moving down that hall? And she'd be like, all the time. There's something down there, and we don't know what it is. So just don't look at it. Well, that's easier said than done, because I am the type that you tell me not to, and I'm probably going to. So I kept on. Every time I saw it, I'd look over, couldn't see it. Then there'd be things that would start to move. And I remember people saying, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Okay, fine. Well, some of my little respite patients that they lived at that other end of the hall would start saying, oh, that sweet lady that came in the middle of the night, you weren't with her. So I don't know where you were at, but she came in here, she woke me up, was talking to me, and I'm going, nobody there. There was nobody there. But okay, I'm not going to tell these little old people that they are seeing a ghost. I'm not about that. Until one of the little ladies said, it was probably a couple months later, she said, that little boy that came in, he was trying to find his ball, and he couldn't find his ball. I was like, oh, sweetie, you're probably just dreaming. It happens. I have dreams a lot where it seems so real, but it's not, but it just feels like that. And she was like, no, it wasn't. I was like, okay, all right. Well, then a couple nights later, when I'd been off for a couple nights, I came back, and Renee was talking to her, and she said, oh yeah, that kid keeps coming back about every night. I was like, oh, great, fantastic, just what I want to hear. So one night, or later that night, I go down the hall. I'm doing my little checks like I always do. And I hear her talking. And she's setting up on the side of her bed. And she is just talking and laughing. And she is not asleep. She is wide awake. Like it is noon. Like she's awake. And I walk in and she was like, "Where'd the kid go? He was just here. You walk in and he's gone." And I'm like, "Oh crap. Okay." And so I'm just like, "Okay, sweetie, I don't have any idea." Well, I think at that point she realized that it must have been a ghost or something of that nature, because she quit talking about it. And I was not pressuring her at all on that. And it seemed like after a while, after the years went by, the shadow that would go across the hall started moving up closer and closer and closer to the nurse's station, even to the point that when we'd restock the med room, put IV bags up and different things up, and restock other things, like I would always make sure that everything was pushed back, was not going to fall. It all was secure in its place. I was very OCD about that. Every night you would hear stuff come off the shelf, and you walk in the storage room, the med room, wherever, and there would be things that is knocked off of the shelves that it wasn't like it was overstocked and pressed and might be leaning a little bit. Like it might be the last IV fluid bag that we had in that compartment. So it's pressed all the way to the back. There was no way that bag would fall over, and if it would fall over, it would still land in the little basket that it was in. It was not coming off the shelf and into the floor. I just, okay, it's the hospital ghost, whatever. Well, there was the downstairs by the ER used to be where they delivered babies, and they quit delivering babies. I believe it was like 1987, 88, somewhere in there, maybe 89. Well, the room with the windows that everybody goes up to and, oh, look at the babies in the nursery, that changed into an office. And one night, it's about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4. I go downstairs, go to grab some stuff, plus go out and have a cigarette. So it's like, hey, I'll go grab stuff. My excuse to go down to go smoke. Well, I get down there and I start hearing a noise. And I'm like, that's odd. Someone must have left the radio on. Nope. It was the sound of one of the like baby mobile things, like they play in the hospital, like, you know, when a baby's born. It was that noise. So I book it outside. I'm not about that. I was not having it. Come back in, didn't hear anything. So grab my stuff, go back upstairs. Well, every morning about 4 to 5 a.m., I would go downstairs. I would gather trash, whatever else, to go outside, throw it away, go smoke. I'd go unlock doors, things like that. And as I went down and turned the corner to the clinic hallway, and I'm walking down, and it's this long hallway. It's got the clinic down there. It's got the medical records. It's got, at that time, the business office. It had all sorts of stuff down there. I had a dentist office, things like that down there. And as I'm walking, I hear a noise. Well, I know I am the only person in that area. There's nobody else. Nobody's in the ER. Nobody is down there. If they were down there, they have to come through one entrance, and there was a camera. And I knew that there was nobody there. So as I'm walking, I hear these footsteps coming right behind me. And I'm like, oh, geez, help me, Lord. And I turn around, and there is nobody there. Nobody. But I can hear them footsteps. So I turn right there, and I just take off running. And there was no way that I was going to stick around to figure out what in the world that was. So from then on out, I was not going to go down that hallway by myself.
Yeah,
So,
I got a friend of mine that just popped in.
okay.
This is Wookman Rick.
Running up behind me, and then me just turning around and taking off running, because I was like, I am not, at that time of morning, being the only person down there on that first floor, was not having it. And then one of the rooms that we had that patients would be in and everything, there was a patient that was getting transferred out to Oklahoma City, and as they're wheeling the patient out on the stretcher, the EMS is taking them, the patient grabs, at the time, my director of nursing's arm, and the patient says, do not put anyone else back in this room again. It's the portal to hell. And I'm like, when I'm hearing this, I'm like, nah, whatever. It's not. The portal of hell is not in this small town hospital.
Room 203.
Room 203. Exactly. Room 203 was the room. I'm not, they're not about, for real, it was room 203.
You got to be kidding me.
Not kidding at all.
What's the odds of that, right?
Right? That's what I was saying. I'm like, oh, I don't think I said the room number, and then now you're saying the number. Didn't. Like it was room 203. Well,
that's funny because 203 came to my head, obviously. So
you know, and so I was thinking, okay, whatever. Like this person, they're in their own little like whatever. Well, over time, I would go into that room, and it had those like heavy doors, and like the heavy wood doors, and I would push open the door, walk in, and it had the at the top where when you push the door open so far it catches, and it's got the catch there to hold the door open. Well, it would do the catch. I'd walk in, do what I had to do for my patient, and then walk out. Well, the problem got to being where I would pop that door open, walk in, get to the other side of the room, be talking to my patient, and then that door would pop and start closing. And I was like, okay, I don't like this, whatever. So I told maintenance, like, hey, I think that latch is messed up because it keeps kicking the door back closed. They replaced the latch, and they were like, the latch was fine, but we put a new one on there. Shouldn't happen again. No, it kept happening. To the point then I would take a heavy chair, open that door, pop the chair in front of the door, because I'm like, if this room has the portal to hell in it, I am not getting stuck in here. I'm just saying. I am not facing this thing alone. So I would put that there, and I could watch that chair slide and the door close. So I started telling whoever I was working with, I'm like, somebody is going to stand at this door because I don't think it's going to move you. I'm just saying. So I was like, I am not about this. I'm not, no. I mean, you hear a lot of things, and then when some of the patients started saying, like, people who did not know the person who originally said this is a portal to hell. That is something we did not tell patients, like, hey, we're going to put you in room 203. They say it has a portal to hell. I hope you prayed up. Like, we're not about to start telling people that, because I don't want them on their call light all night long saying, I need you. I need someone in here.
So I heard this is your last day here. I got the room for you.
Exactly. Like, yeah,
your last room you'll have to stay at in this hospital.
Yeah, I mean, your kids don't like you. They told me to put you in the most haunted room, so yeah, we're just throwing you in there. Well, there would be several people that would get into that room and start saying, there is something in here. There is something, and they all would always look to the upper, like, right hand from where their bed was, like straight across, right there. They always say, there's something there. There's something there. And I'm like, oh, sweetie, you're good. You're good. No, you didn't got to worry. You're good. Well, it continued on. And then there was a guy that he was meaner than shit. And he got put in that room, and he was dying. He was so mean that nobody came to visit him or anything. And I guess pretty much his family was just kind of like, please let him go soon kind of thing, because he was very, very mean. So for the last couple days of his life, he was not eating, not drinking. He was pretty much just unresponsive. But I mean, he had a DNR, so we weren't going to do CPR or nothing like that. But we knew he was going to go at any time. All of a sudden, I hear a blood-curdling scream in the middle of the night. I jump up, take off running down there, and this guy has wedged himself up his bed. Went from unresponsive to now wedging himself up the bed, and he is looking in the direction of where the portal to hell is supposedly being, and he is now dead. Eyes are staring over there, and I'm like, oh, he got taken through the portal of hell. I'm just saying. So yeah,
what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going in there alone, so somebody's staying in here with me, because I'm not getting taken.
Tie a rope around my waist, so if something tries to grab me, you can pull me back.
Yeah, if I yank 3 times, come get me, you know? But yeah, that was probably the weirdest stuff.
All right, so for me back in the day, we used to go around and do paranormal investigations at old abandoned houses, old abandoned places, cemeteries, accident sites, different places like that. And it was eye-opening experience. There's a lot of good ones here in Michigan, on the west side of Michigan, that are just really old and a lot of activity. One in particular is in Ravenna, Michigan, and that gravesite there made my cousin a believer. That was a very interesting one. That's the first day she actually saw things walk around that wasn't there, and she wasn't the only one. We were all there watching it, and it was a great night for everything going on, and a lot of activity. It was just really nice. It was really good. We had a lot of fun doing it.
Tell us about the creepiest thing that you ever came across.
Oh man, there's I'm not so good about on the fly, but there's a lot of them. There really is. I mean, that graveyard was one of the creepiest things when you see a bunch of black entities just floating around, and they're walking around. They're going, I mean, you're seeing them in the distance, just walking not really walking, but they were just figures, and they were just going back and going about their business. And there was, busier places than others, and it didn't really make you want to go over there to where the heaviest activity was. And we had some houses around the same thing. There used to be a prison in Holland, Michigan, Succotash, Michigan, and it's an old abandoned prison. It was by the Felt Mansion. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Felt. You have, right?
Yeah.
Wrench, you're a trivia guy. So the Felt Mansion was built by Dor E. Felt. He's the guy who built and I'm going to say this wrong probably, the comptometer. It's like the calculator with buttons from back in the day, and he built that. And the prison was built in front of that mansion after he's done gone and whatnot. And that was a haunted prison. It was kind of, you'd walk around, you'd see the curtain move back in certain places. We had pictures with people looking at us. We had one who walked from one room to the other and towards us. I wish I could find that video. They were wearing blue jeans and a shirt, but they went right through from one into the other, and then towards the camera and disappeared. And obviously, if you're coming towards the camera, you'd be in front of it, and right. It was the reflection off the glass, which is funny. And that one there was like, okay, that was what the heck just happened? And we went back and watched that over and over and over. And the same location was one night we had a friend of ours that he was with us. We had a group of, oddly enough, 13 people. Wasn't planned. And we were out at this prison, and it was dark, nighttime, probably 10 o'clock. And all of us were walking around, and we were doing this like ghost hunting tour kind of thing. Cause I don't know, we're just being crazy and love doing that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden my buddy Ryan disappeared. And at first he was like, hey, I'm going to go out to my car and grab my mask, and I'm just going to come back and scare these people. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. He had one of the Scream masks, this is early 2000s. And he was like, don't do that. And he kind of laughed it off, and he stuck around us. And then all of a sudden he came up missing, and I was like, let's do a count, and where's Ryan? Where'd Ryan go?
We got a
really good care.
There it is.
Oh, are you freezing?
It wasn't me. We were both moving.
Oh yeah,
that was you.
I was moving. You guys were froze.
Huh, that's strange. And you just got new internet today.
I did. It's confused on what to do. So, did you hear the part about Ryan?
Yeah, that he disappeared, and he did a head count, and that's when he framed.
He took really good care of his stuff, but we couldn't find him, and we figured he was goofing around, but he was gone for quite a while.
And you just framed out again.
Oops, I don't know what's going on. This is weird.
Huh. All right. That's that Spectrum for you.
I don't know, man. It's trying to link us or something without linking us. I don't know. It's weird. I wonder if I should switch over to my Starlink and see what happens. But anyways, he came up missing. We gave him a call on his Nextel phone, and his phone was way off in the distance, and he wasn't there. And we kept looking around for him, and eventually we found him laying out in the middle of a field. And he wasn't sure how he got there, other than he said he couldn't scream, he couldn't do nothing. He was just on the move, and he wasn't walking and whatnot. Next thing you know, we're waking his ass up out in the field. So
wow.
It was really weird. It was a really weird moment. To this day, I don't know. I would have said he probably was in on that, except he's not the guy to throw his phone. He's not the guy he was one of those, I take real good care of my stuff kind of things. He wouldn't have just left it there. He wouldn't have let you borrow it, It's just laying out in the middle of the field, not anywhere close where he was.
Wow.
So that was kind of a fun adventure. And sorry about the internet. It's trying to figure out what to do.
Before I went into the Air Force when I was 18, me and some friends were out partying, and at one of my friends had a farm, and on the farm was an old cemetery. So we're out in the cemetery, being teenagers, drinking, whatever, and I started getting a weird feeling. And
oddly enough, life water.
At least it's not after death.
Mountain Dew.
That summer before I went into the Air Force, we were out there, and I was getting weird feelings. And me and one of the girls, I said, I need to walk around a little bit. So she walked around she was more or less following me. I had my eyes shut, and I was walking, and I could tell I was going right between the rows of graves and everything else. And I stopped at one, and I just set out a date, and I don't know why. And I was just standing there, and I just sitting there for a while. We got, went back to drinking and that, and all of a sudden I just started freaking out. I saw somebody or something, and I went running, and we got the hell out of there. The next day we came back, and she took me to right where I stopped and set a date. And the headstone right there, which I couldn't see because it was pitch black out, had that date on. It was like one of the freakiest things I ever did. And I couldn't sleep for a little while after that. Yeah, there's two types of hauntings. You got a residual haunting. They're unaware that you're even there.
Yeah.
They're just, it's like a video being replayed over and over and over. Then you got the intelligent haunt. We've had a lot of them that were intelligent haunting where they actually were playing with you. But I think most of the stuff that we had, like when we were at the Cape, at that Air National Guard hangar, or down at Gettysburg, those were both residual haunting. I'm trying to think what the creepiest residual I ever had. Well, the Gettysburg one was really strange because through the entire night that we were investigating, we never saw anything with our own eyes. We never heard anything with our own eyes. But boy, did we have stuff on, especially on audio. And on a FLIR camera, we had a couple of times that we saw a few weird spots on there. Couldn't really tell what they were, but they were bigger than any animals that were around there, but we were never able to explain that. Hey, Oki, Mama Llama says, I told Oki about the ghost that saved her son twice when he was born. Do you remember that story?
I'm trying to remember. Well, I know that there was one that she got woke up, I believe, when he was falling off the bed, I believe. Yes, Mama was asleep. Her and her son was taking a nap. He was about a week old. And she was asleep, and she heard somebody scream her name in her ear. She wakes up. She's able to grab her son by the foot before he knocked his head on the ground. And he was just a week old. But they were the only ones home. And now one thing is, they were living on a reservation. And as we know, Indian reservations hold a lot of different powers, it seems like. I technically live on an Indian reservation of the Muskogee Creek, and I've known people who have been hunting and have seen a full apparition of a Native American, looks like man, running, chasing after like a deer or something. And like one of them said that they saw him run like he was chasing after something and then disappear into a brush pile. And there was nobody there.
I caught on a FLIR camera. I'm trying to remember where that investigation. That was in Wisconsin. Oh, Belgium, Wisconsin. We were doing a investigation there. And on a FLIR camera, caught perfect outline of somebody going through a room and through a wall. And it's like, that was strange. And, it's a solid wall until we went around to the room next to it, and you could see where there used to be a door right there.
Yeah.
So that was a residual of somebody just going into another room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the great white buffalo, Janesville, Wisconsin used to have great white buffalo that was born there. We had literally hundreds of thousands of Native Americans coming to Janesville to see the great white buffalo that was born. It was amazing.
Wahoo, you can keep all that snow. I know I do not want it. I had to drain all my water hoses today and get them put up and prepared for winter. Makes me sad. I don't like the cold at all.
God.
And
are you expecting a lot of snow, Wahoo? Rick's back. Hey, what happened to you? Ghost get you? Or portal of hell?
I think so. I was looking something up, and next thing I know, I look down and I'm on my Starlink again. I'm like, what in the world? So I think firewall got me.
Wow.
My
spirit got him.
I think so. I was looking something up, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So it was on Starlink. It sucked. It switched over on me. Sorry about that.
No problem. We only got about 10 more minutes because we got the Credence of Mikey After Dark special coming up at 8 o'clock on the Credence of Mikey, and we got a Chase channel.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you've gone and checked out Credence of Mikey, didn't you, Rick?
Yeah. I used to watch them. They came on at 4 o'clock, and that happens to be when I got out of work, so it would be playing in the car on the way home.
Cool.
Yeah. That's how we met, was through the Creed Mikey chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I met Wolfman on his channel. When we used to play games and stuff, and nobody wanted to do trivia against me anymore.
No. Nope. Hey, when you're good, right?
Yeah, as one of my old bosses used to say, I was a sewer of useless knowledge.
I have a lot of useless information too. So
I'll see you later, John. And later on, we will be. I'll be over there to on your stream for the shenanigans that are going on tonight.
Oh, there's more goodness. I missed out on a whole bunch of these lives. Holy
Oh
smokes.
yeah. We got John Lynn there. He's his channel. He just got monetized, in fact, this week.
Oh yeah. I saw that comment in there.
Yeah, and he's a lot of fun, a lot of stupid stuff, just great chat. That's what a lot of them are. It's like half the time we don't even watch the video. It's all the chat that's going on, is all the fun stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Hanging out with your friends in the chat.
Yep.
And then you have background noise at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, Mama Llama, his channel is, as it says there, Wolfman Rants 411. You put out stuff quite a few times a week, a lot of shorts, a lot of other stuff, opinions.
I'm getting back into it. I am. I started the channel in what was it, 2000? No. When was that first Adventures with Purpose thing? Was that 2018? No, 2020.
No, yeah, it's 2020 because I had just
October.
I just started for UPS when that happened.
Yeah, so it was 28. Yeah, so 2018 October. It was the Nick case. I started the channel. I did a rant on that, and it blew up. There's 130,000 views. It's like the biggest thing on that channel so far. And then I started trying to do some comedy stuff because I don't like to really complain a whole bunch. So I started trying to do some comedy skits kind of thing with some information, and then it just kind of went crazy from there. I moved out to the country, lost my internet, fast internet anyway, and so 20-30 minutes to upload a video to find out you screwed up and have to start over just kind of wears on you after a while. And so now I got that Spectrum, and I don't know, I was gonna say so far so good, but I'm back online now, so I don't know, we'll see.
Have you checked what your speeds are doing since you got it?
I did. It was I went from 60 to 70 on Starlink to 700 to 800 on Spectrum, so not too bad.
Yeah, that will work.
Pushing pretty close to a gig, so that should be pretty good. So anyways, the channels, I'm kind of in the middle of a niche thing at the moment, so I figured true crime's probably a huge thing, so I've been getting more into the true crime. I just put another video out today. It took me a couple days to work on, and then did a couple true crimes before that, and then I'm just trying to figure out something everybody would like, and I'm just trying to have fun with it.
Well,
I love true crime.
Yeah, a lot of us are into true crime, court cases and stuff like that. So
there is a out your way wrench, South Carolina. I know it's a little south of you, but there's somewhere, I think it was out that way. Did you hear the one about I'm gonna mess up her name, Lawrence, Robin Lawrence?
No, I haven't.
All right. So Robin Lawrence was murdered. I gotta remember what words I can say on YouTube. She was undone on 1994, unfortunately, and 30 years later, about a year ago, they solved the case with DNA on a towel. From blood. So they ended up finding that, and then they actually caught him through genealogy.
Really?
They went back through family trees and went all the way back, way back for his DNA cycle, found out all of the people. It's really amazing. Like, if you get a chance to watch the 48 Hours episode, it's really cool. But they went through all the branches of the family tree and then found the parents and said, okay, well, if these two were together, this DNA would be this. And they found the siblings and literally found him that way.
Wow.
30 years later. So that's the episode I just did. It's about 10-minute long one. So I don't know. I think I'm trying to slide into true crime. I have fun with it.
That's cool. Yeah. Mikey said he just subbed and he will check it out.
And I've subbed.
I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. Every sub counts, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and I appreciate coming on tonight.
Yeah.
And we're going to be kicking it off here so we can get over to Critters and Mikey's After Dark and see what kind of shenanigans are happening.
And
Del,
I can throw my pizza in the oven.
Del, do you have a channel too, by the way?
I just do this.
Okay.
You
got that awesome background. So I'm like, that is the background of a channel creator right there. So
Well, I may end up later on trying to do some kind of like reaction videos and different things, just kind of see what all.
Oh, do it.
You
Do it.
know.
There's a lot of tools out there right now that will
Mhm.
help you minimize the time, and a lot of people out there that would have fun just trying to help you. So like there's it's really cool. I'd say go for it.
Thank you. And I am not AI, Bill. I'm not AI. My kids would probably be happy if I was AI, because then they could turn me off, and then
Famous last words of an AI.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
actually came through room 203, and
What's funny is I was looking up the significance of the room 203 or the number 203 to evil. Actually, is what I was looking up when my internet decided to shut off. So,
Hey, Wahoo, Wolfman Rant 411 is the name of his channel.
Yep, Wolfman Rants 411. It should be a picture with a blue background and the laser lights, kind of like this, or the LED lights.
Here, if it will pop up, I put a link to it in the chat, so hopefully it'll work.
I can show you the channel if you're interested. Let's see. So the channel will be, I have a second camera, but I'm going to use this one. So maybe. All right, hold on. Don't get nauseous, everybody. So that's the channel.
Yep.
So if you see that one, then you got the right one.
Awesome.
I just made my monitors go crazy. So I got 3 monitors up here, and they're like, "What are you doing to me?"
Yeah, I just have 2. That's it. And
I actually have room for another one. I need another monitor, quite honestly.
I actually took mine from my parents' house. My mom has recently started working from home, and so my old bedroom became her office.
Nice.
Yeah, so she was like, I have these extra monitors I need to put somewhere, and I'm like, let me just take one off your hands there. She's like, do you want the second one? I'm like, not quite yet. I can only handle 2 screens at a time as of now. I may take it later, but as of right now, only 2. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and hang out.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's been fun. And
Thank you.
I appreciate it a lot. And here, let's see if this link really.
And thanks to all those ones I'm seeing. There's people that subscribe to the channel. Thank you to each and every one of you. I see all of the comments too. So any kind of like constructive criticism, I'm all for it. Just send it my way. Let me know what I can do to make everything better. And let's make it cool.
In my case, it's destructive criticism.
Yeah, that's your style though, and it works.
All right. Well, everybody,
thank
you so much. Thanks, Rick, for coming. Del, you're as gorgeous as ever. Remember, vote
I second
Del.
that.
Thank you.
Let's see. Racket.
You too, Wrench. Wrench, you're gorgeous too, brother.
Oh, no, I'm not. I look like a beardless gnome now.
And I need to take a shower after rolling up all those garden hoses and everything. I got dirt on me, so I really need a shower.
No more purple W's, Mary. The purple W's are gone. No more. I actually have half a brain now that I know what to put.
So where are we going next? Where are we going next?
We're heading over to the We Gotta Chase channel for the After Dark, which starts here in exactly about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, I'll get out of here and catch you later.
That's funny. All right. Thanks, everybody. We love you, and we will see you next Saturday, which we have no idea what it's going to be about.
We'll discuss
You
and
never
figure it
know.
out.
It
Pickles.
could be just something weird.
The origin of pickles.
What?
The origin of pickles.
Never thought about that one.
I never have either. I don't know. It just came out.
I think those are some words that probably have never been put together before.
Origin and pickles? Hold on, that's gonna go somewhere else. All right, so
that's what I was about to like. My mind went there, and
oh, that's funny. I know I'm hanging out with the right people then. All right, later, guys.
All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Where'd he go? He disappeared. Oh, go back to it. Where'd he go? Rick. Oh, well, you got to keep going. Oh, there he is. He's back.
About that.
Hey, there he is. Ooh, look at that. We're making a Del sandwich here.
I'm stuck in the middle.